With the movie Encanto being such a huge success, it's made some Colombian dishes intriguing to many. While everyone follows the basic recipe of 1 part cornmeal, 1 part cheese, 1 part warm water, here's one of my own twists. Now you can use any type of cheese, but I prefer to use queso fresco. I wasn't able to record it, but prior to this, I had shredded some cilantro, roughly about a cup, and then I'm shredding about 2 cups of queso fresco. Now some people use less cheese, but I like my arepas extra cheesy. For this recipe, I'm using the brand Pan. I'm using 2 cups of cornmeal, 2 cups of shredded queso fresco, 2 cups of warm water, and 1 cup of shredded cilantro. Now, cilantro is not part of the recipe, but I wanted to add a little bit of a different flavor, so I added it to mine. So feel free to either leave it out or add your own twist. Now, aside from the cornmeal, the water, and the cheese, it really only gets a little bit of salt. But just like the cilantro, I added my own little twist, and I like to add a little bit of adobo. So I do a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of adobo, just to give it a little bit of a punch. Now, most of the time you do all this by hand, but I have my KitchenAid, so I might as well use it. One tip I do recommend is when you're adding the water, use warm water. This will help some of the cheese melt, and it'll let it come together a little easier. Also, don't forget to scrape down the sides if you are using a stand mixer, just to prevent having any dry cornmeal at the bottom. If you are using a stand mixer, let everything mix and come together for about 3 or 4 minutes, at least until it becomes not very tacky. So once you're done mixing it, you can just grab a little piece, touch it with your hands. You don't want to be too wet, but you don't want to be dry either. Now this part's up to everyone's preference. I like to measure mines just to make sure that everything's even, but this recipe will make roughly about 6 arepas at 175 grams. Now because I am a little bougie and I have the appliances, I put on my hamburger maker and I use that to form the arepas. This way they were a little more consistent. But you are more than welcome to make them by hand. This way they'll have more of a rustic look. And in reality, in Colombia, they probably don't use as many appliances as I do. Now from here, you can either freeze them for up to 2 weeks, or you can take them straight to cooking. Once you are ready to cook, bring your pan to a medium low. Now you don't need to cover it. I just do this to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. Now, let's listen to that sizzle. When it comes to cooking, you want to make sure your pan is at a medium low. You want to cook each side for about 3 to 4 minutes, depending on your preference. Because this recipe does have a good amount of cheese, it will get a little browner than normal. But that's the way I like it. Now, once you're done cooking and it's still warm, you want to add a little bit of butter on top. Butter always makes everything better, so why not add some? And then you're ready to enjoy. Now again, this is my twist on a basic Colombian arepa. I did add extra cheese, I added cilantro as well as adobo, but feel free to customize however you like. Look at that steam. Don't forget to share this recipe with your friends and family, and let me know how your arepas turn out.